What's up, guys? Zach Ginn here.
Rick Ginn here.
And in today's video, we're going to break down the ultimate equation that you must know to become rich in wholesaling real estate. I'm super excited, guys. This is the one thing, if you can figure this out, you can pretty much print unlimited swaths of money, go out here and start making a ton of money in wholesaling real estate and really change your mindset. This is going to be the thing I think so many wholesalers need to know and so many wholesalers need to focus. And it's going to help you get your first deal, your second deal, even your 100th deal, right? And it all comes down to one really simple equation. And I promise you, your guru don't talk about it. The broke influencer for wholesaling don't talk about it. We're the only ones that really talk about it because we know what it takes to get you past that finish line, to get your first deal, to get your $100,000 in wholesaling real estate. We have everything you need to know in this video. So before I break it down, do me a big favor. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. And really, let's go out here and break everything down because I think so many wholesalers right now, they need help, right? They need help crossing that finish line and getting the first deal. So hit that like button, subscribe. We are live, guys. So comment below your questions. And what I want to do is just really talk to you guys and really break this down. So without further ado, let's get it going. Some people think they know the equation. It'd be kind of funny, but we're going to break it down. But the one thing is you might know the equation. We're not going to reveal it yet. We got to go through the intro, but are you practicing it? And that's the honest truth. So let's break everything down. Let's get it going. So without further ado, it's wholesaling time.
Let's do it.
Woo!
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and then they got go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Guys, we are here. We're ready to go. We're ready to share everything you need to know about wholesaling real estate success and most importantly, the ultimate equation for wholesaling. So let's kind of break this down. Let's really just, what I want to do is give you the equation and really talk about it, right? Because I think so many wholesalers struggle, right? This is the time for so many people to start changing their lives, right? We got the end of the year coming up, and this is when people want to start making that change. That's when people want to start actually making a change in their life. And to make a change, you must change. And the biggest change I find from people getting the first deal to not getting their deal, to getting that deal finally is their mindset shifts, right? Once that mind shifts, everything changes, right?
Yeah, I mean, the truth of the matter, for you to become that person you want to become, this is going to hurt a little bit, but you actually have to change who you are. And that it's not a bad thing. You still have your core values, but as you get older and you mature, some people do it with age, but if you can force yourself, if you're young enough to understand how it really works. And the rule is, if you're going to follow what everybody does around you, you're going to get the exact same results as them. And so for you to go outside your comfort zone and say, we're not going to try wholesaling, you have to do it, is you have to commit to it and understand you're going to be judged by people that are not happy with you because you're not doing what they do. And if you let that change your belief system, you're going to get killed. I went through this over and over when I started out wholesaling, and understanding by being a wholesaler, you're doing the uncommon thing, and common people are telling you what you need to do. So only take direction from people that you want to be in their position and they validated it. So guys, that's one of the biggest struggles. You guys are all about the change. It's exciting. You get going a month or into it and you're like, my God, everyone's attacking me. Like, how do I keep doing this? So you're going to have to change. So why not, like a crab and a lobster has to molt out of its shell? You have to do the exact same thing.
Ooh, I like
Some
that.
do it quicker than others. Some struggle. Some try to get back in their shell. But like once you've grown, the word grow means you can't fit back in that shell. and use that as your analogy to become the best wholesaler to make that change permanent.
You're giving some good quotes today. Let me give one quote I want people to do to sort of jack people up, right? Because the one thing before we break down this equation is I'm just going to you know how they do in medical school? They try to kind of weed the people out and try to give some scary statements and tests. So let me tell you a scary statement. You're going to have to work hard in this business. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no secret thing that's going to change everything in wholesaling real estate. None of that, right? It's all going to be hard work. And if anyone tells you wholesaling is not going to be hard work, it's not true. The thing is, wholesaling real estate, you can make millions of dollars, but the problem is to make millions of dollars, you're going to have to work your butt off. It's anything in life. Think of any person that has gotten to an extraordinary feat in their life, man or woman. They all had to go through extreme adversity, extreme work, and extreme dedication. The quote I could tell you, which I've seen a lot lately, it's really cool. I don't know who said the quote, but if you want to buy something without looking at the price, you have to be willing to work without looking at the clock. And that's an important quote, right? So if you want to go buy something without looking at the price of it, you're going to have to work without looking at the clock, which means, no, you don't have to grind a million hours every single week, but you're going to have to work until the work gets done, not by the time you've spent. And I think this is one thing a lot of people have to understand, that stop focusing on how many hours you work, because that is not what this business is. This business is about taking the action and how you do the actionable steps, right? It's not about working 4 or 5 hours. For the average wholesaler to work 8 hours in a day, me, in my personal business, about 30 minutes for me, because I have the teams and everything set out. I'm getting more done with you in the course of an hour or two on this live stream. If I have a team of 5 cold callers, they're probably at 5 cold callers on 2 hours. They do 10 hours of work in 2 hours. Most wholesalers solo can't do that. And that's why we whoop our competition, but that's scaling to you. So just understand that. Warren Buffett in 8 hours can probably make 15, 20, 30, 40 million dollars. And in 8 hours, I can't do that. Okay. He's just so much better than me? Or no, it's scalability, right? You guys have to understand that. So let's break down this equation. This is the secret equation that's going to change everything. But this is the honest truth. Here it is. Actions equal results. Start thinking about that. Start thinking about what that means. And this equation means a lot more to me and a lot more to you than you probably imagine. What I mean by actions equal results is 90% of wholesalers out here, they care about results. That is the only thing they actually focus on. And this is the biggest misconception, and this is the biggest reason why so many people fail. So I see it in the comments too. I want to get my first deal. 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 That they care about the results. And when I ask everybody, and you ask this all the time, right? Mm-hmm. Rick, I didn't get my results. I say, okay, well, what's the action you took? Oh, I cold called 1 hour a day for a week and then I quit. Your actions are not equating to the results you want. So if I want to get a deal this year, by the end of the year, the action you have to take has to equate. They have to be equal. If they are not equal, then you will not get the results. So if I plug in a calculator, I want to make 50 grand this month. You're going to have to take the action it takes to get 50 grand a month. And we'll break down at the end of this how much action you have to take. But that's what you should be focusing on. And once you start shifting your mindset to that, first of all, you eliminate excuses, right? So here's the funny part. Zach, I didn't get my first deal. This is my favorite one, right? Zach, this deal I got, the buyer fell through and I lost the deal. Don't say that. That is one of my biggest pet peeves. Buyers just don't fall off a deal just to say F you and give you the middle finger. And hey, I don't want you to become successful. Cash buyers don't do that. Cash buyers are smart. Cash buyers fall through and quit on the deal because, number one, you probably locked it up too high or you haven't talked to enough cash buyers. My favorite is, oh, I couldn't sell the deal. No. All right. If you have a deal that will cash flow $1,000 a month and you locked it up for $1,000, I'll buy the deal personally. DM me on a deal like that, right?
Yep.
That's an insane. There's always a cash buyer. There's always. It'd be probably me. Okay, worst case scenario. There's always cash buyers. The question is, did you lock it up for too high, or did you not talk to enough of them? Once you start saying words like that, like the buyer just fell through. Like it's a normal thing for deals to be lost like that. No. Whenever I lose a deal, especially in this business this year, it wasn't because of it just magically fell off. There's an underlining reason to it. And when you have to start becoming accountable for your actions, the results will follow. So I'm telling everybody watching this, focus on the actions, eliminate. Don't even care about the results. All right. So like what that quote I said before, if you want to buy something without looking at the price, you have to work without looking at the clock. Don't be caring about the price. Be caring about the work it's going to take to get there, right? One really cool thing I always think about, and you say this all the time, which is always funny, but it's like, you don't have a spending problem, you have an income problem, right?
Yeah. It's so many people are looking like the pinch pennies and do stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, I spent a majority of my life through my 30s doing that. Is if people would just take that effort and focus on the income side, especially your wholesaling business, it will fix a lot of your problems, especially if you can plug the holes up in your spending. And when we talk about results, guys, you got to understand is you have to be willing to take that information, good or bad. Yeah. So sometimes you can do all the right things and don't get the result you desire. And that's how we teach how to do consistency and discipline. But so many times people are like, oh, a deal fell through, or like, I didn't get a deal. I called 100 people. Like you're focusing on the wrong information because the result, your action has to be, it's kind of like an algebra problem. So a guy who ignored algebra his entire high school career, like this is the part where your action has to exceed. Like everybody's so focused on result and they spend little time on the action. And if you just turn your action into like a machine and if you're brand new, you've got to add quantity to your action. So if like you're doing driving for dollars, if you're thinking about getting 200 leads, you need to get 1,000. You need to get 10,000, whatever it is, because that's how you make up to get the result. But don't go get 100 driving for dollars leads and expect to get 3 deals out of it, because your math problem is not going to add up to what you want it to be. So sometimes we get bad information and we have to use it, and you have to decide if you're going to pivot or not. And sometimes it's bad information on really good action. And that's the real challenging part in wholesaling is like, okay, do I stop doing this because I didn't get a deal? I had a guy on a live the other day. He goes, well, I did 2,500 SMSs and I didn't get the result I wanted. He only did it in 1 week. Like you guys, if you expect to get a deal that quickly on one, and by the way, that is one action, in my opinion, you're doomed to fail. Your expectation is not correct.
I've had days where I sent 5,000 texts in a day.
Yeah. I've sent out 20,000 pieces of direct mail, didn't get 1 phone call. I didn't quit. I just go, okay, am I doing something wrong? Did I miss something? And you'd be surprised. I've actually sent them out sometimes with the wrong phone number, just, stupid stuff. So just go through your basics. That's why we're big proponents of having a marketing plan and having a marketing budget, and understand most marketing campaigns, you got to give like a quarter. So everybody wants an instant result, but they don't want to put the action to drive it. The reality, if you're just starting out wholesaling, in the beginning, it's like pushing a boulder uphill. It's hard. You're going to have to leverage it, and you're going to have to push and get through it. So understand that going into it, and don't have this, if it doesn't work, I quit. Results give you feedback, sometimes good, sometimes bad. The problem is most of us go, if something really good happens, like take for your day, if something really good happens, let's keep doing it. The problem in wholesaling, if you react like that, you're running on emotions solely. So we talk about the art of detachment all the time. Set a plan in place, look at the results without having an emotional connection to the outcome, and then you can look at it as a business. But when you get all like ticked off and pissed, it's hard. So like, here's an example, direct mail. I get a deal. I'm like, we make 50 grand. Let's send out 100,000 pieces of mail, turn it way up. No, just keep doing what you did and make adjustments along the way. And that's how your action leads to great results. But this act of wanting instant gratification, it's not going to work in wholesaling.
No, you look at the best fighters of all time, right? Even look at TV shows and movies and like actual fighting in general.
Yeah.
You have to stay calm. Like if you get emotional with it, you lose your technique and you lose, right? Now you could use emotions to get like energy, but like you're not going to use it for the actual battle of attack, right? You have to stay calm, look at the field, and then go from there and see what you got to do, right? When you get very emotional, that's when things just start.
Think about like two
spiraling.
great UFC fighters. Say they get together. What happens all the time, and like you watch the fight, I'm like, man, I don't know who really won. And then it goes to a judge, and one's usually a winner and one's a loser. Does the guy lost? Is he just going to quit and like move on? No, he's going to learn how to get. Maybe he's going to work on his cardio or his grappling. So the next time he gets in that match, he can try to get it decided and figured out before it gets in the judge's hand. So, like, you have to understand your result is a derivative of how much action you want to do. In the beginning, you guys don't have as much experience. The biggest thing you can impact action is quantity, like massive amounts of quantity, because it will make up for your inexperience.
And that's it. So here's the thing. It's about a lot of wholesalers look at luck, right? Oh, you're going to get lucky to get that first deal or second deal, right? The thing about luck is it's a funny, finicky thing, right? And luck is like fishing. So I got a fishing shirt on, right? I love fishing. To go catch, let's say a marlin, right? If I go out there for an hour, try to catch a marlin, it's probably not going to do too well, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I spend 4 hours a day for a week straight to find a marlin, do you think I'm going to get luckier to catch a marlin that week?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of funny. Fishing, wholesaling, very similar, right? The more time I put into this, the more time I spend fishing, the more time I spend marketing, the better chance I am to get a deal to go catch that fish, right? Yeah. It's kind of funny, but the more work you put in this business, the more marketing, the more conversations you have with people who have ugly houses, the closer you are to getting that deal. And it doesn't guarantee it, right?
No.
But you just keep doing it. You're more lucky to get it, right? So if you want to go get jacked, if you work out more hours during the week, you're more likely to become more muscular. Now, there's diet, all these other things, of course, but it's just that's how it works, right? If you want to get better at video games, if you spend more time playing video games, you're going to get luckier when it comes to winning one video game, right? If you want to get lucky at making a shot in basketball, the more time you spend practicing, when it comes to the game time, you're going to get lucky becoming better, right?
But here's the analogy. Like, take the person who's working out. Say Zach goes to the gym and he goes, I'm putting in 10 hours. He does like 1,000 reps, everything. And then that's it. That's all he did for the week. And then he's sore, doesn't want to do it. And occasionally he goes back. That's not going to help you. And that's what a lot of people do in wholesaling. They go all in 1 week. They don't get the result they want. And they go, oh, I'm done. I'd rather you be what we call farm strong, where you just every day keep pushing and applying to it. You guys know what I mean by farm strength. A farmer gets strength. They've never, ever been to a weight room, but like when you grab their hands, they could probably rip it off. Their grip is so strong. Why? Because every day, 7 days a week, they carry the buckets to the field. They feed the animals. They lift the hay bales. You have to do the same thing in wholesaling. You have to make the phone calls. You got to get your marketing list, and you got to be emphatical about it, meaning you just have to do it every day. And the repetition and the quantity over a long period is what's going to give you the result. Don't think you can push all your chips in and bang it out in like 2 days. It just won't work because you're just a blip on the screen when you do that. If the guy who does it every day, the repetition, they're going to get so much more exposure.
Depends on your intensity. So let me show you that. This is Dorian Yates. He was Mr. Olympia, one of the biggest bodybuilders of all time.
Oh, yeah, look at that back.
Now, Dorian Yates, obviously he was chock full of steroids, all that great stuff. But like, if he didn't take steroids, he'd still be a big dude, right?
I guess.
He's more muscular than you and me. Don't you agree?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. He spent, to get that big, 45 minutes to an hour at the gym. That's 4 days a week, 4 or 5 days a week. That's all he did. He literally spent an hour, 4 or 5 hours a week in a gym. That's it. So how does somebody like me, let's say, spends an hour at the gym, not as big as this guy, besides the steroids, right? Number one, he got a lot more done in that hour than I. Look at videos of him working out in that hour.
Yeah.
It was
He's not looking at his
nonstop.
phone.
No, it's nonstop, right? So I want you guys to understand this. Zach, I spent 3 months cold calling. Was your 3 months the same as my 3 months cold calling? Because my 3 months cold calling was 5 hours a day, Monday through Friday, every single week, nonstop, Monday through Friday. I didn't care. Just ran through it. Did you do the same thing in 3 months? Because I don't care that was 3 months. I care about how many calls you took. All right. Action is not how many hours you spend doing something. It is quantitative results. I want you guys to understand that. All right. It's just so funny because training and things like this is like, oh, I spend an hour. Me spending an hour running versus a marathon sprinter or like someone's doing a 4-minute mile, spending an hour running.
Mm-hmm.
One person's probably in an hour is going to get a lot further than me, right?
But they've learned that over time and how to be efficient with it. So like a lot of times, guys, when I spend a couple hours in the wholesaling business working on it, you got to understand there's like 20 years behind that. 20 years. Like I didn't do this like overnight. And I kind of like when I go to work out, like I have a plan. I'm efficient and I'm that guy in the gym, like doesn't talk to anyone. Why? It's just, I don't want to be rude. I didn't go there to make friends, man. I'm there for one purpose and one purpose only. And anytime I talk, it throws me out of whack.
You look
And
miserable
so
at the gym.
I am. I just want to get it over with, man. Like
No,
I'm not
you're
there.
miserable in the Stairmaster.
The Stairmaster's caused me a few issues, but we're working
like,
on that.
Guys, it's about the reps you take, but it's more important about how intense you take the action, right? And if you go all in, you'll do well, right? And here's the thing about action versus results, okay? If I spend an hour at the gym and all I did was calf raises, do you think my bench is going to do very well? No, right?
Your bench needs work anyways.
Oh my bench is pretty good. But what I could tell you is I might say I did the action. Oh, I did calf raises all day. But if the general thing is to be healthy or have a good bench or be good at pull-ups, that's the wrong thing. So if someone might say I cold called for 5 hours today, but you cold called a pre-foreclosure list, that's not a good list to cold call. These people are getting loan sharks and bank servicing companies calling them. They don't want to answer, right? But if I cold call, let's say, a probate list for 5 hours, that's way better. So remember, there's a lot going on here, but just understanding the action you take, but also the type of action. So like doing the right list, the right skip tracing is going to be another part into those results. Because if you have terrible list you're calling, you have a terrible script, your actions are going to be terrible, and that's going to lead you to bad results, right? It's about taking good action, right?
So make sure you guys aren't doing like a checklist. I'd tell you 80% of the people at the gym, they go there. Why? Because they're checking it off their list. I have a huge pet peeve with people being on their cell phones the entire time while they're working out. But the thing is, don't cold call just to check it off of a list. Cold call to get deals. And when you churn the quality versus quantity, meaning you're like, I'm trying, when I get somebody on the phone, like I'm listening, I want to hear them out. You can't just say, well, I cold call, so I tried. I'm like, the word tried, that's the problem to start with. So guys, listen to what you're doing, look at the actions you're taking, and make sure they measure up to what you want to get done. The only person you answer to at the end of the day is who? Yourself. So if you're going to take an hour to cold call, rip through it, get the quantity done. And when you connect to people, make it work.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's talk about cause and effect, right? I think a lot of people do this, right? Think of the cause and effect. Don't care about the effect, care about the cause that it's going to take to that effect, which is the same way of taking actions equal results. Shift your focus to the action, not the result. So one thing I want you to know, like, all right, so if you have like on your board, right? So you used to do this and you used to say this, right? It was real. You used to write your goals on the mirror when I was like a kid, right?
In the bathroom,
right? Like,
you know why, right?
Yeah, because that's what you see every day.
Every day.
But what I can tell you is that's right. But a better way to look at it for a beginner, right? Because there's big goals out there. I get it, right? But I think for most people, like especially with this video, is shift it up. What I mean by shifting it, don't write on the mirror, hey, I want to get my first deal. Write on the mirror, hey, I want to do 500 drawing for dollars leads, and I'm going to cold call them and send a text out. Mm-hmm. If you write that down instead of the first deal, you're more likely to get your first deal by just looking at the actions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you should have both of them. But if you're like first deal, you're like, oh shoot, what should I do? No, focus on what it takes to get that first deal. Might be 500 drawing for dollars leads. Might be cold calling 500 probates. It doesn't matter. But focus on those leads and calling them. I think a lot of people, we're still doing the drawing for dollars challenge, right? And we're getting a lot of people getting deals, great results stuff. But I think some people are like, they're focusing on how many leads they can pull. It's not about that. It's how many leads you can pull and call, right? Like it's a double whammy, right? And so focus on pulling the leads and calling them over getting that first deal, because just talking about getting your first deal is not going to it's not income producing. Doing leads, talking to sellers, doing appointments, giving offers, that's income producing, right? And really, even if you're looking at big goals, let's talk about a big goal right here, right? I want to make $100,000. What is it going to take next year in 2023 to make $100,000? What's an equation? I'll throw it out here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Calling,
I'm good at math.
Calling and texting 5,000 government leads, fresh government leads, right? Monthly. That's most likely what it's going to take to make $10,000, $100,000 if you're making 10, 15, 20K a deal, right? So just think about that. Stop caring about the 100,000 as the number. The number is actually 5,000. Pulling 5,000 government leads, skip tracing them, and cold calling them. And I would say texting on top of that, and probably calling that list maybe once or twice. That is what's most likely going to yield you the results. If you stop looking at the 100,000 from there, you're like, oh, I got to make a website. I got to do this crazy SMS text blasting. And then from there, I got to go pull this list. I got to get the software. I got to do that. Stop focusing on that. Focus on the government leads and get to work. If you start focusing on the actions, the results will follow. So if someone says, Zach, I want to make 100K, but I'm not 100K. How many government lists did you pull? I didn't pull 5,000. Okay, we'll do that and get back to me, right? Like, that's it. There's no room to complain. The only room is to say, did I pull this? And if I did not, what's the course of action to change it? Start making yourself accountable. I can be accountable for yourself too, but like, I'm just telling you, you have to start looking at the action and the results will follow. And that is truly how you become successful in wholesaling. This was not a video we're making because we think it's going to get all these views. This is the honest truth.
It won't increase course sales.
It will not increase course sales, right? But this is a video I don't think a lot of people want to hear or want to see, but it's the video they need to see. And this is a video all about self-accountability to yourself. And when you're looking at the course of what you're doing, and I know a lot of people are serious about getting results. If you're serious about getting results, you got to be serious about your actions. And if you're not, you won't be serious about, making the money. So that's what I think about it, right? Actions equal results. And that's the honest truth. So let me know if you guys have any questions about that. Let me see if you agree. If you don't agree, I'd love to know. But yeah, that's pretty much it today on the equation to make you rich. So one thing we got to get into now, which is probably the most important part of this video, because, tomorrow is Turkey Day, right? Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, which means,
is it?
Yeah, which means Friday's coming up. And since Friday's coming up, it's a Black Friday. I got told from my boss, who actually owns the coaching company we own. We're just the faces of it. We actually have some of that we have to pay a really big percentage of our coaching fees to, because you might not know this, but a lot of coaches, I'm getting in trouble saying this, there's actually companies that actually own them. And I don't want to get into it too much. Y'all can do independent research. Y'all are free thinkers. You won't ever hear this, but there's corporations that actually get a huge cut of every single course sale because they're puppets. They're literally puppets to the guru bosses. So you got guru here. Somebody actually owns the guru company and tells the guru what to do. They're basically paid actors. It's kind of fun. I'm not going to break it down, but maybe I start asking some questions to some gurus. Not every guru is like this, but a very high percentage. You'll be very shocked. The game is very surprising, right? When we got pitched to do a show on a major TV network, multiple TV networks, they didn't have us sign any NDAs, but it was pretty funny. So we're allowed to say this. I didn't get into that part, but they kind of sat us down and told us, hey, if you're going to be on this TV show, we're going to control your social media. We're going to tell you what to post, how to post, and how frequently to post, and what to say and what you can't say. And if we don't deem it, and here's Sarah and Sarah is a showrunner, and not the
Uh.
showrunner, but I don't know what they called it, but you have to send every social media thing you're going to do to them. They have to approve it. YouTube, Instagram, all. I'm like,
Yeah.
screw that, right?
And plus,
screw
yeah,
that.
they want you to have a script, which
Oh yeah.
what's the point of reality show if like I listen, everything that has a element of reality in it is pretty fake. Why? Because they just want to get views. And the reason why a lot of the gurus want to get views on their YouTube channel and stuff, so they can get more eyeballs on their courses. So you guys, the one thing you got to watch out going forward, free is no longer what the free means. And me and Zach are on a mission that actually make free what it's supposed to be. Because aren't you guys tired of being tricked into everything? It's like, I'm going to give you free content. So here's how you know if you're getting free content or not. Just see if they got a coaching program and you got to do a discovery call, and I'll save you the hassle.
We'll do this. If somebody has a free wholesaling course, go through. You could sign up, go for it. I probably would not. But here's the funniest part. Every free wholesaling course I see in wholesaling, I've seen like about 10 of them, and I'm signed up for all of them. They'll teach you marketing. They'll teach you they'll give you one cash buyer video. And then there's an acquisitions video on how to close sellers. You click it and says, that's a premium content. Click for a discovery call. They won't teach you the acquisition. So they'll make you learn marketing. They'll teach you a little bit of dispositions, and then you get a little confused. Like, wait, how do I close sellers? They're confusing on purpose. I'll make it very clear if you pay me my 8, 9, 10 grand, right? Here's the thing. These gurus are driving me crazy. You're going to see a ton of Black Friday sales. My phone is inundated with them right now.
Yeah,
so we're doing our own Black Friday sale at freewholesaling.com. We are, you know what? I did 50% off. Screw it. We're doing 80% off freewholesaling.com today. One day only for the next 4 people that sign up, 80% off. So we are going from $0 is our full price, 80% off of that. Hold
on. I think we're going to owe them money.
No, I got to do the math. What is...
Guys, these Black
2 times 0 equals 0. So $0, 80% off Black Friday sale. Only the first 4 people that sign up. If you don't sign up, then it's only going to be 10% off. Use the coupon code Broke Guru for another 10% off.
Yeah. You guys just, I mean, it's. I don't know.
Here's my favorite
if you
part.
guys got to pay someone to like learn wholesaling, you're in the wrong boat. And most people I talk to, they're like, well, Rick, I want to pay someone so I can be accountable. I'm like, do you really think if you pay someone, they're going to like lose sleep about you overnight if you did a deal or not? They don't care. Like, honestly, they're just going to tell you they care. And that's what you're going to, at some point, our channel focuses all on like how you need to be accountable. Because here's the reality, guys. A lot of people don't talk about this. Unless you really pair up with somebody in your local market and they show you the ins and outs, you're not going to get any more detail from a wholesaling instructor. It's impossible, because one thing we've all proven is all markets are local. So if you know they're local, then I can't teach you the details of the pricing in your market, but I can teach you the instruction to find motivated
we can
sellers.
teach the individual, because we do a lot of virtual markets.
No, I agree,
So
but I'm just telling you, it's just, there's only so much like they can tell you. So it's, at the end of the day, wholesaling is actually very simple. We, meaning you and I, we all make it complicated, and we need to simplify it. And then they throw all this money between you and getting the results you want. And then everybody's got social media channels. You all say like all the social media channels on anybody who sells a coaching course, it's very bland. Why? Because they can't talk about their course, which is 90% of what we talk about.
Well,
we have fun on here, but the reality is, like, we go through. So when we do the lives with you guys, we walk through, hey, this is what you need to do. We also go to freewholesaling.com, show you how to do it. We go to Mailing Mastery, show you how to do it. You go to Zach Data. I mean, this is endless. We provide solutions without putting a financial barrier for you to learn a basic skill like wholesaling, which you learn your ABCs, nobody charges you. You imagine your parents going, I'm sorry, you have to pay me to learn your ABCs.
Here's the thing. If you want to know, here's the problem with Black Friday. If you want to know the funniest part about Black Friday, they'll tell you $1,000 off the mentorship. Are you ready? I've actually seen this. $1,000 off the $2,000 off the mentorship. Okay. $2,000 off of what? Call for discovery call. But you'll get $2,000 off of it. Oh. But we're not going to tell you the price. It's the funniest thing ever. They hide the price from you. Could you imagine if you went to the grocery store to buy a turkey and it's a mystery per pound? This is the worst thing. Have you ever gone to a menu? I mean, remember I used to not make as much money.
Market price.
Market price, like
that's what gurus should put on their thing. Market price.
And you know what? Now I can look. I can just I order steak and lobster like without looking at the price. But like back then, I wasn't able to do it. But like I look at it says market price for lobster. I'm like, is this going to be $100? Is it going to be $50? Sometimes it's like $150, but I'm like, you know what?
And what's the waiter waitress tell you? Like, if you got to ask, you're probably
right.
You're not going to like it. My thing is like, if Tony Robbins can put all his programs on it, and he has programs up to $100,000, and people line up out the door for him, and the discovery calls after they already know the price. You know the reason why they don't want to put the price on there, right?
Less sales.
Well, number one, it changes constantly. And number two, the data says the minute somebody gets an expensive price, they're just going to hang up on you. So how do you feel about being talked into learning a basic skill set, and then they're going to hide the price on it? Like, to me, so what I hate in this whole business is the word value. It's beyond abused. What is value? And the reality is what me and Zach is value. Like, nobody can exceed our value. Why? Because we're going to give it to you if you paid us or not.
Well, it is value. So look at this. This is the way I look at it, right? This is not college. Okay. This is elementary school. So we look at real estate, right? Real estate wholesaling. You look at real estate investing. It's like college. And then you got all this crazy stuff. Wholesaling real estate specifically is elementary school. Okay. It's kindergarten through 5th grade. And I want you to know is if you look at this, and this is the funny, let me give you a quick analogy about elementary school. Okay. Elementary school, you learn your ABCs, you learn basic math. You don't do anything crazy in elementary school, right? It's kind of wholesaling, right? You make millions. You can do very bright, right?
They should have wholesaling as a course.
They should. You know what?
They should.
Okay. Here's the thing. You can pay a guru to learn your ABCs, right? Like, so you can go to a crazy elite private pre-K or a private school for elementary school, and you go to public elementary school. I could tell you straight up, the difference in the difference in the education and getting elementary school is not going to be crazy insane. Like, it's really not. Like,
basic.
It's so basic that paying $50K a semester for the private 2nd grade is really not going to make you any smarter. And one thing I can tell you is, this is our big riff I have. In 5th grade, they had the gifted program. And they never put me in the gifted program because I don't know why.
Parents go nuts for gifted.
I know. I was never.
That was a big part of me.
You never even wanted me in gifted program.
I didn't, because my kid's gifted.
So here's the thing. You look at the gifted program, okay? I was never in the gifted program. But I always got straight A's, but I was never in the gifted program.
There's a reason why.
You look at the kids from the 5th grade gifted program. They all went to the same high school with me. And then you look at the public school kids that didn't go through the gifted program or the private schools. The ones that got into the top universities, the people that got in the top public schools, top people that got full ride scholarships, I would say about 10, 15% of them were in the gifted, like the gifted kids got in it. And most of those kids in the gifted never got the top results, right? And what that means is the private, because the gifted kids got the special, insane, like dedicated thing. It didn't make them any smarter. The same percentage of the gifted kids got in the top schools as the public school kids. Which meant since those elementary gifted school kids in 2nd grade to 5th grade got the most insane, they played like Sebastian Bach, you know, like the Mozart, and like I'm just like playing basketball in recess. The public school kids actually did the same. They did just as good as the gifted kids in the scores when it came to high school and like the upper levels in college, right?
Yeah.
What does that mean? A kid in my 5th grade class went to Yale. He got into Yale. And another gal went to Dartmouth. 5th grade public school class. None of those kids went to any Ivy League schools in the gifted program, but the public school kids did. And just shows you, like, getting in elementary school, getting the special, super private education is not going to make you, it's elementary school. Okay. It's elementary school. All right. Now you can talk about Harvard versus a community college. Like, that's different, right? For computer engineering, but like the wholesaling is literally elementary school. Okay. There's creative financing. There's multifamily. There's like crazy high level syndication apartment like thing. But that is not elementary school. What we are talking about is elementary school. This is wholesaling real
It's
estate.
basic, guys. You can't like overcomplicate
can't.
wholesaling. And this thing where people go, well, you can use a mentor to, accountability, and they have details to get you through it. And then they go, like the Bill Belichick of coaching. Guys, you need you remember your old PAL coach? I go, here's the deal, dude. The old baseball, it's like you're going to hit the ball 100 times and you're going to field that ball. Like, remember the guy hits you at the bat and so I always wanted to get out of the way when the ball was like flying, it was ricocheting up. And eventually he taught me, he goes, listen, that ball ain't going to kill you, son. It might hurt a little bit, but you got to make the stop if you want to make and play on the team. But I don't know today, man, everybody wants a trophy and everybody wants to play. The reality of the world is if you want to put the work in and you'll put in the time, it'll work. But I agree with wholesaling. It is a rudimentary, people overcomplicate it. Guys, notice our goal is to get you to your first deal and get your first 100 grand. You can agree or not agree with it. It's our opinion.
For 90% of people watching, it's key to get your first 100 grand. Now, I would say about 5% of the people watching are making over 100 grand learning from us. And those are people we help at freewholesaling.com. We help those people out. For most people watching this, our biggest goal is to get you to that 100 grand. Middle school is 100K to a million. And then high school is $1 million plus. And then you got the crazier levels in there. But that's kind of what, we want to help most people out here make to 100 grand, right? That really gets you in a comfortable position. And then for the 5% people watching that is finally at 100 grand consistently, now we're going to help you make $1 million, right? And we help a lot of people out there. We do scaling videos, but for most people, that's the point.
It's not for everyone. Trust me, you have to be elite to get there and do it. But listen, wholesaling, you do it to achieve the lifestyle you want. It can't only be about the money. I promise you, because if it's only about the money, you ain't going to make it. So if you desire freedom, if you want to do what you want, when you want, if you want to be in control instead of depending on other people, this is a great way to start. So why not start wholesaling? Work with us. I have 21 years experience. He's going on 6. That puts you at 27 years experience. I haven't found many duos that have much more experience than we do. And here's the key is we still operate a wholesaling business. And the reality is most gurus, they don't. And when you guys, so I see in the comments, once you start asking them questions, that's when it falls apart. Do you know most people never, ever question a guru on anything? When they're on stage or anything, can you ever ask anything? It all sounds like a picture perfect story, and it sounds like a Facebook post. The reality is this business got a lot of ups and downs, and this wholesaling is simple. It's basically a grade school skill, and you need to learn how to get your first deal and get up and running. The problem is if you guys spend 5 or 10 grand to get your first deal, and by the way, most gurus are going to push you to use paid advertising methods. Why? Because it's easier for them. Because it'll show you a more instant result. But say you spend 10 grand in advertising and then you spend another 10 on the guru and you're 3 months and you don't have a deal, then what are you going to do? You're in big trouble then. So the reality is if you can learn how to do a deal with little to no money, imagine what I can do when you actually earn money from your profits and you learn how to scale this business. You are going to have infinite success. Instead of being these one-hit wonders with gurus, most gurus go, hey, listen, he got a deal. They actually take credit for you guys. Are you kidding me? You did the work. The guru just, maybe they gave you some good tips on it. I'd like to take full credit for everyone's
I take
deals.
No credit for people that become successful.
You guys do it. We just give you instructions. And so we focus on action.
What I tell you is about 5% of the game, right? So 5% of the game of you getting your first deal, making first 100K is just knowing what to do. But 95% of it, everybody can know what to do, right? So it's like me teaching you, how to, be healthy. People know what to do to be healthy.
Yeah.
Sleep well, eat right. It's just basics, right?
So let me ask you, if I stop eating today, I should be significantly lighter by tonight, right?
No,
that's
it's
the
over
problem
time.
with people's mentality.
But here's the thing. You know what to do. It's just you actually doing the action. That's what it's going to take. That's how you're going to know if you're actually being successful or not. Because you know what to do to be healthy.
Yeah.
But 95% of the battle is you working out, eating right, all this stuff. So I don't take credit when you guys come very successful, get your first, second, third.
We're
It's
just
all about
excited
them.
for you.
I'm excited. Honestly, the 5% is important because if you don't have that, right, you're not going to do well. And the gurus only give you about 2%. So
I've seen like gurus posting where like we've had thousands of testimonials. By the way, I don't ask for testimonials. I occasionally we put them on a podcast to feature them to get you guys excited about it, but I never use any of you as a platform to go, hey, if you do this, you're going to have success like them. Number one, we always give you credit for you because it's your hard work and you deserve it. And the reason why we post checks and stuff like to show you guys this stuff really works. It's not hard. And then I saw somebody posting about a guru shooting us down. Actually, we expect it. The minute a guru like agrees with me and Zach, you're probably in the twilight zone and you better like pinch yourself because most likely you're going to be in a dream because I'm not here to get them to agree with us. Would you say a minute a guru agrees with us?
Well, some gurus are. So let me tell you one thing. Then we're going to start with the guru talk
Okay.
and we'll get more. But I actually have a lot of gurus call me. They all have my number. A lot of them actually call me personally, and they agree with what I say. They don't agree with how we do things, and they don't agree about giving things for free. But
well, because it ruins their business model.
It ruins their business model. But I have nothing personally against any guru. I actually don't. You know, I do believe in what?
Trying to make a living.
Here's the thing. I believe in the free market, and I'm the biggest believer in the free market. Capitalism, free markets, everything like I believe in it. But because of that, people have a right to sell a course on wholesaling. They of course they do. They have a right for it. It's capitalism. It's America.
No executive orders to stop that?
No. Go after it, right? But because of this, I believe in a free market where if you can provide something for a cheaper price, that helps the consumer, that helps the wholesaler out. So if the average cost of insulin is $5,000, and then every single person charges $5,000 for insulin, which is necessary for most people for life, right? But it's necessary for people financially to learn wholesaling. What if I could provide that insulin for $0, right?
Yeah.
And that's the way I look at it. And no, it's not as drastic as that, right? Like I would love to get insulin down there, but like there's a cost to insulin. Like there's research, medications, all this stuff.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Sometimes you can make an alternative to the drug and make it super cheap, right? So there's alternatives to like these crazy medications that are like $10,000 each that they figure out how to make a general of it. And it costs like $5. And that's free market in play, right? And of course, there's copyright protections, things like that. But here's the thing about wholesaling real estate. I wanted to give that service the average cost of $5,000 down to $0. And that is what I'm doing. So I don't hate the gurus. I think a lot of people think I hate them or I bash them. Here's the thing. I just truly believe in what we do and how we help people out as much as possible. So no, I don't hate somebody. I don't have hatred in my heart for them, but I do want to change the way they're doing things because I truly believe these gurus, seriously, I know most of them are watching. If you just JV'd with people and maybe took some YouTube ad revenue, maybe that's enough money. You don't have to be charging $5,000 for, and just make all the money in your own wholesaling business. Focus that time, effort into being a guru. These gurus spend 7 to 8 hours a day on Zooms. If you spent that in your own wholesaling real estate business, you'd make more money. So that's why
that is a highly paid self-employment job.
No.
And then they turn around and tell you don't trade your time for money. And that's what they're doing. By the way, I have never ever met a guru, someone does full-time coaching that has not burned out from it. Because they all say the same thing. They get frustrated with your guys' lack of success. And listen, I'm just stereotyping. I am. There are a few exceptions, but the reality is, guys, wholesaling is basic. We make this way complicated, and I never expect gurus to agree with me. By the way, I'm friends with most of them. I've had it with this business the way it's run. It's ridiculous. And so we are making a step forward. And the only person I try to make happy is who? You guys. Well, yeah, my wife. My wife, my dog, my daughter.
Oh, you're getting in trouble. For
well, hopefully she won't watch this today.
You got in trouble for that
She's cooking in the kitchen. So I understand, like, all we do is listen to you guys. And if we just listen to you, so 95% of the gurus are all over us. You got to stop it. Like, no, I'm not stopping it. if I can just help out one person, what do you care? Like, I don't understand why anyone would get. The only reason you get upset is because it's hurting your business model. And change is inevitable. It doesn't matter. Change is coming if you like it or not. So if you don't want to accept the change, then keep doing what you're doing. I don't care. But you're discovering, so that you guys understand, when you pay a guru $5,000 to $10,000, almost 50% of what you pay them goes to their cost structure, sales team, setting up systems, and all that other stuff. So you're paying for the system of them scaling it. So
Yeah.
guys, simplify it, keep it simple. If you really want it, me and Zach can definitely help you get there. And so you guys understand, we only listen to you. Everything else is just noise. I don't care.
That's it. So guys, let's do some one-on-ones. Let's kind of help the people out today. If you want to hop on these one-on-ones and talk to us absolutely for free, all you got to do is go to Wholesaling Houses for Real right here. And if you go here, right, go to the featured, which is pinned 2 hours ago. I posted this, so y'all had time. All you got to do is click the join here on StreamYard and actually join. So if you want to actually click this link and actually have access to it, all you got to do is just join Wholesaling Houses for Real on Facebook. So that's it. So without further ado, if you hop on there, you'll get to talk to us absolutely for free, one-on-one, and you can actually go out here and do it. So without further ado, let's talk to the people and see what I can do to help. So first off, we got Fernando.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Just wanted to come by and say, bam, second one done.
Oh, snap. How much is that?
That is 10,375.
Oh,
Woo!
wow, man. That's awesome, man.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Tell us a
It's
little bit
been-
more about it.
Yeah, I want to hear all about that.
Yeah, so it's been 5 months in the work since my first deal. So I've been grinding, getting at it. That was a reverse driving for dollars lead that
Awesome.
I left a sticky note on, and the realtor actually called me. So the seller got the property from their mom, who passed away, unfortunately. And the house was like completely gutted. Like they were in the middle of remodeling it, but she passed away. And so I put the sticky note on there because it was as a probate lead. And so all the probates, and I just put sticky notes on them, and the realtor called me, and we made it work like that. We made it.
Sticky notes work.
Yeah, sticky
telling
notes. Yeah,
That's
we're
awesome,
not just
man.
giving you guys exercises to like waste your time and energy. I promise you. So
What I say, you know what? Fernando took it and he got his second deal there. So I love it. Dude, that's awesome. How does that feel, man?
Well, it feels great because imagine like going 5 months just grinding and not seeing a result, and then finally like one came up. Especially now with everything changing, everything being a little bit harder. I was like, man, I wonder if this is I wonder what's going on. But luckily it panned through. So, and in between the first one and the second one, I had two that fell through, which is funny that you mentioned before about deals don't fall through. I guess, yeah, the two ones that I did before, I just got them at a higher price than what they were worth. So
Well, you learned from it.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, and so on to the next one. I guess I'm gonna ask you all the same question that I asked you the first time. What I do now?
Keep going. Like you got to keep the sticky notes going. You got to keep just after it, right?
repeat it. And you don't know this yet, but as you move forward, you really learn how to talk to people a lot better. So
yeah.
like when that next deal comes up, you're going to find a lot more profit in it, and you're going to have a lot more options. And especially rolling into 2023, guys, we have change coming to the market, and what seems difficult now is going to be your greatest strength in 2023, because change is why people make decisions in real estate. Remember, real estate is nothing more than a symptom of human problems.
Mm-hmm.
So people are starting to accept would you say people have accepted their prices aren't going up anymore, right?
Yeah, for sure. There's some people that are still kind of delusional, but yeah, for the most
No, that's
part,
correct. So that's phase one of a deteriorating market. Okay. Remember, real estate takes so much more time to drop than stock markets, stuff like that. So real sellers have accepted their prices aren't going up. So they do this, what we call a downward spiral. So now we're in the process of them chasing yesterday's prices. Okay. So if I said, say a realtor said, listen, 4 months ago, listen, I probably sell your cells for 200. And then here's what we're going to do. We're going to use the strategy. We're going to list it for 219 and see if we can get someone to overpay. Okay.
Yep.
Lo and behold, the market drops, interest rates go up, buyers drop, inventory's like just smoking up. And after like a month or two, they go, well, let's drop it to 2099. Okay. So then they drop it for another month. And then the seller is going to call and go, listen, what the heck's going on here? Like, we're not even getting offers, nothing. He's like, yeah, the market's changed. We're going to have to get below 200 to even get an offer. Okay, was that going to sell it low? That should get us the action. They're at 199. So do you see how they're constantly chasing yesterday's price? Yeah. This will go on for probably another 3 to 6 months. And then you're going to get to a point where there's so much inventory, there's so much choice on the market that buyers are going to be like, they'll just pick whatever they want. And sellers will do what we call give up. They're just going to go, just sell it. Okay. I've been there. We've all been there to a point. And when that happens, those that are prepared and know how to negotiate with people will do very well, because we are now past the price increases. Everyone's accepted their prices are flat, if not dropping. And now they're doing the spiral downward. So they're always chasing yesterday's prices. At some point, they can only live so long having a vacant house on the market, making payments, insurance, taxes, mortgage payments. And you're going to see this just get worse. So knowing that going into 2023, it's frustrating right now, because even you guys are going, well, these prices are looking good right now. They're not, guys. You're looking at yesterday's prices. They're only going to get much, much cheaper. And you got to realize it. So it's like looking at a stock. Say you were looking at the Tesla stock and it looked really attractive at 300. Guys, dude, that thing went all the way down to like 110, 120. And so we're all thinking, oh, it was 1,000, 300's a deal. It just, so you don't get what I call like price goggles, meaning you're looking in the past at prices. And you go, that's a good price. So here's how you prevent that. Guess what? When somebody offers you a property, don't get stuck on what they offer it for. So I did a live the other day. Someone's like, well, he wanted 200. So I offered him like 170. I go, what was the ARV? He's like, oh, they made their offer based on what the seller told them. And that's what's going to get you in a lot of trouble in this market. So they have no idea what their houses are worth. They're actually looking for realtors to help. Realtors don't know either. They just know they're having problems. So moving forward, you've got to find the right numbers. And it's been really easy the last 4 or 5 years before this. So now it actually requires work. It requires research. And for the most part, you need to work with very motivated sellers, and you have to go for a no price. Otherwise, the days of, remember when you could go on MLS, you could offer stuff 85, 90 cents on the dollar, and you didn't even worry about it. Like now, that's suicide in today's market. Yeah. So going forward, understanding you're looking at old prices, everyone's like, oh my God, it looks like such a good deal today. Don't. What is it worth today? And what is the conservative ARV on it? Stop looking at the prices sellers give you, because it's usually erroneous information. It's bad. And if you start on bad numbers, it's almost impossible to recover at the right number.
Yeah. Well, I got into this like when this is all going on. So I don't even know about, I've never been in, that great market that y'all were in. Like,
well, that's good, because most of those people have quit. And then you got a lot of gurus just like, okay, here's what you do. And they've never, ever navigated through these waters. The reality is wholesaling, you can't time it. It doesn't matter. I've made a ton of money in the hottest part of the market, and I've made it at the worst. In 2009 and 10, you want to talk? Like, I struggled to sell any property. How did I survive? I spent a lot more time with my cash buyers, and I got really creative. So we are right back in that scenario. I love Easy Street when it comes, because it's easy to take the money, but like, you got to live on the tough days, dude. Yep. It's like watching a football game. What was that football game that it was like it was the Jets game. It was 3-3 rolling at the end. And guess what? Someone gave up, and 16 seconds left on the clock. This guy goes, I'm just going to take it to the house, man. Guy returns a punt, the first one in the NFL this year. It just goes to show you, you've got to fight like every day, and you can't accept the norm. So these changing markets are going to drive most wholesalers out. and the ones that can adapt and go forward. I know it seems like a struggle. Number one, you're still a little bit new, which is the good part. Number two, you're in an ever-changing market. So buy today. And guys, please get the ARVs right and stop letting sellers give it to you because it's wrong. And if you start on bad information, you're going to finish on bad information. So how do you navigate through it? You build rapport, you have conversations with people, you hit them with the go for no, and then you just negotiate and work through it. And a lot of times you get the deals on the follow-up. Here's the really cool part, Fernando. No one's swiping deals from you anymore. It ain't happening, man. Like, hey, I got another wholesaler doing great. Awesome. Have them go ahead and close on it. I'll sit back and watch. It's not going to happen. That threat is over. Remember, we did like the last 4 years, it was torture. So-and-so will pay X amount of more. And we felt like we had to bid up. Those days are over. So I'm excited about it. So what seems difficult now will be your greatest asset. So I thought 2009, 10, I'm like, I don't even know what the future of wholesaling was because it was a real struggle. And then for 11 years, Fernando, is the easiest pickings I've ever seen. Wow. So the struggle you can endure now and the wholesaler you become is going to create your successes. It's like that fighter who just got beat up in a 15-round fight. It's the man that comes out of it or the woman that comes out of it that makes them the great fighter going forward. And you're in it. And guys, I will tell you this, your greatest strengths, your greatest, like, how you grow in life is when you get your butt kicked and you're struggling. Do you know all the greatest inventions, all the greatest like companies created are from struggle. They're never from like, everything's great. Yeah. Okay. You guys have recently seen a company that when everything was great, everybody was happy. And the minute it fell apart, everybody just like jumped shit. I want nothing to do with it. Take their sign off my building, you know? And it's like, give me a break, man. So I commend you on what you're doing. Like, it's like when I watched Zach when he started, although I was heavy on him, on top of him, it's just, you have to go through the journey. And much as you guys go, well, he goes, Zach was your son, you made it easy. I go, no. He put in the work. He took the action. That's what you guys don't understand. He did the action. He did action tenfold what the average person would even try to do. And that's what you got to take out of it. So congratulations on your success. Just keep doing what you're doing it. And then just keep trying to increase your actions, the level of actions you take, because now you have the ability to point it a little bit more precise. And before you were just kind of like, shoot an open net. And now you're like, okay, I've had success. So some of my greatest, here's another tip for you guys. Look at the deals that you've closed and use it as a real learning lesson. How did I get that deal? How can I get more deals like that? And what did I say to that person to make it work? And now no two deals are exactly alike, but you will find common themes. That's how I found probate. You guys realize I went on a 7-year journey till I really targeted probates. Why? Mm-hmm. Because I did an internal search on the deals I was working on. So I know it's only 2, but like, don't stop what you're doing with that and just find out how you can do it more without driving yourself nuts.
Yeah, because the first one was cold calling and this one was reverse driving for dollars. So I made this recently. So just so I can, be on schedule, but can you see that?
It's like a little Here, let me make it bigger for you.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And key is, guys, it's great. Whatever works for you. So like, I'm an old school paper guy still. I like to write stuff down. And this guy's Mr. Electronics. It drives me nuts. But
my calendar is filled with things and it's perfect.
But I'm getting better with my calendar because he helps me with it. My wife's a big part of it. And like, I'm slowly adapting. Change is hard for all of us. But like, you give me a piece of paper, like, it's done. But like, whatever clicks with you is going to get you to take action. Yeah. And then take some time. Like and I'm sure this next month we'll talk about goals on like, making growth in 2023, but like, do what you're doing. So many people get screwed up because they try to do things differently. And I'm just like, this is boring. This is the boring part of wholesaling. Just do it. And then the idea is where you can consistently get 2, 3, 5 deals a month. And by the way, do not let someone ever measure you by the number of deals you do a month, because it's irrelevant.
It's how much money you make.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess just so I can to finish off here, any word of advice so I can get consistent deals out of it, because I've been consistent with the action. I just don't know where I'm failing at, So are
you going after the areas where your cash buyers are wanting to be?
Yeah, so I've learned that there's definitely parts here in Pensacola that cash buyers are not buying just because they're really rough. And so I'm definitely like sticking to like 4 or 5, yeah, 4 zip codes for the most part that they're buying in that I see other people posting deals in. So I'm sticking to that. Um, also, but for the most part, that's where I do a lot of drying for dollars. But also on the when I get the probate leads and the pre foreclosure leads, that's where I really just put sticky notes on all of them. Doesn't matter where they are. So I don't know if I should stop doing that. Only focus the probates in certain areas. I don't know.
Focus the probates in the areas where your cash buyers are wanting to buy it at. And that's probably gonna be my best advice. And just go after the areas where the cash buyers want. Because you said before that two of your big issues were deals falling apart because maybe the price is too high. But maybe if you go after the area where the cash buyers want, you can get a better price, which might make it a little easier. So that's the thing I can tell you, keep consistent. Like just it's a grind.
Okay.
It gets easier. It just it's you've hit it during like a pretty radical change,
Yeah.
but this is going to benefit you in the long run because I went through this exact same thing. The problem is I got used to Easy Street, and then Easy Street turned into like don't come down this road street for 2 years.
Wall Street.
And so here's the good news. Most down markets only last on average about 18 to 24 months. When I say down, now that doesn't mean if it goes flat, this business actually gets somewhat easier because the prices become predictable. But when they're dropping is the most challenging time in wholesaling. And you're going to have a million people give you instructions. Whatever gets you to get like consistent deals, like keep doing it. So look at the data you have now. Take Zach's suggestion and just like move forward. Do not overcomplicate this business because
The way I see it, like starting in this situation is like I'm doing pull-ups with a weighted vest, and hopefully when everything gets better, it's when the vest gets taken off and it's a little easier. I assume. I don't know. Is that what you're
I
saying?
will, but I don't know when the vest is coming off. You don't
Yeah,
know, and I
yeah, of
don't know,
course.
and
Yeah,
that's the key. And
yeah.
what happens? The reality, the vest never comes off. You just get stronger and you grow, and you just like it just seems easier. Like honestly, the way I wholesale, like the way that it just seems effortless. But honestly, guys, I had a 7-year journey that it was painful, man. Like I made a ton of mistakes. I had to learn everything on the fly because I didn't have anybody really to truly teach you how to scale wholesaling. And by the time it came, I was already kind of established in what I was doing. Now I learned a lot from people, but I've learned that the more people teach the masses like these cute little techniques, the
Mhm.
faster they get shut down, in my opinion. But either way, just
Okay.
keep doing what you're doing. At least you're getting results. And the idea is you can increase your profit margins, but like don't get greedy, especially in this market. Sometimes you just have to take a deal and run. So
Okay.
like sometimes I tell people, you'll never get hurt taking a profit. And some people have too much pride that gets in their way. But I got to tell you, from '08 to 2010 really made me who I am as a wholesaler today. Like,
Okay.
and all I did was go into the core of wholesaling. I find it the best list possible and I market them like crazy. And I just met with a ton of sellers, and the amount of deals that fell apart and stuff like that, I could probably write a book on it. But and the amount of times I say, man, I'm not sure if I want to do this, but I remember why I do it. I get freedom of my time. I get to do what I want, and
Yeah.
I write my own book, and I never forget about that. If you do wholesaling correct, and by the way, just you don't have to wholesale your entire life. Like you can set up if you learn it well, you set up a business and let other people like run it, and you can run it from the top, and then you can focus on like bigger deals and doing it that way, and that's perfectly acceptable. So I always tell people if you can get through the 2-year grind, mine was 7 just because I didn't know what I was doing. So I'm just telling you, 2 years is going to seem effortless. So you're in your first 5 months, so like enjoy the journey, man. I'd
No,
like to tell you there's some light bulb, something super sexy goes on, but man, 2023 is, can you imagine taking your first 5 months trying to learn this in 2023 is you've gotten through it. Most people don't want to go through the pain of learning wholesaling, and that's why they don't succeed. It doesn't matter if it's paid or not. It's the truth. And by the way, if you pay someone, you still have to go through the journey. It's impossible to skip it because the journey is how you learn the business. And anybody who's
Yeah.
any good at wholesaling will tell you the exact same. And any guru who tells you you're going to skip it, is just after the cash in your wallet. End of story. So keep doing what you're doing. That's the honest to God truth. I know it doesn't sound sexy, but it is the truth.
Okay, I'll do that. And thank you guys. Appreciate everything.
Okay,
Appreciate
keep doing it, man. Great
info.
job, Fernando.
Keep it up.
Thanks, guys. I'll post it on the group so you
Okay.
y'all
All right.
can.
Love it.
Awesome, man.
Keep it up.
See you.
Thank you.
Oh, awesome. Then next year we got Christian.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up? How
What's
are you?
up, man?
I'm doing good. I had a quick question for you guys. Yes, I think it was yesterday. I was just curious about when do you put your leads into Podio, and if you can shed some more light on how to effectively use Podio.
Podio is pretty simple, man. You click add lead and you put the lead in if you follow the freehosting.com tutorial. If the seller
I
wants to
watched
sell their
it. I was
house, you
curious
put it in
about when,
Podio.
kind of.
So what's the question?
It was more about when, because I saw it yesterday. You said if it's a good lead, then you put into Podio, or am I putting
Okay.
all the leads into Podio, or like?
So once somebody wants to sell their house, you put it into Podio.
Yeah, you have to define what a lead is. And a lead
Okay.
is someone that they have to have some sort of interest selling to you. So
Okay.
a lot of people make the mistake of uploading their prospect leads in the Podio or any CRM, and that will just confuse the heck out of you because now you've got thousands of people in there and you don't even like know what their motivation is or if they even want to work with you. So if I had 500 people and I'm cold calling for the next like 3 hours, I'm only going to take the people that want to progress and move on. Okay. Because you have to filter.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm going to tell you after 3 months, your Podio, it looks really cool. You got like 5,000 people in there, but you're only working.
But none of them want to sell the house.
Yeah. So you have to, the idea of the CRM is so you can work at a scalable level so you don't have to memorize everything.
So if they want to sell the house, put it in Podio.
So define a difference between a prospect and a lead. And the idea is to convert your prospect to leads. When it's a lead, it goes into your CRM. Keep it that
I think that
simple and it
explains it perfectly, actually.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Prospects confuse you. Now, there's other software you can use, but like I'm just here to tell you, a simple Google spreadsheet and stuff like that will help you organize a lot of that stuff. And remember, it's a lot of junk. So you have to the biggest part of wholesale in the beginning is filtering. So you spend more time. Would you say you spend more time qualifying or disqualifying people in wholesaling?
I would say qualifying them.
You spend more time disqualifying. Because if I deal with 100 prospects, probably less than 10% are interested in talking to me. So 90% is disqualifying. So if you put that 90% into your CRM, it's going to overwhelm you because it's going to be, so you can keep those lists separate and then pull them off your prospects into your leads. And once you understand leads are, whenever you bring anybody on your team or to help you out or a VA, anything like that, have them follow the same philosophy. So you know when you're looking in Podio, you're only dealing with people that have interest in working with you.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. That explains it perfectly, actually.
Awesome.
Okay, man.
I think I was confusing the two things between a prospect and a lead.
No worries. Any other questions?
No, that's it for now, man. I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate what you guys are doing. And the first half of the live was so true because I see in almost every industry now there's a coach and trying to sell something.
Well, it's there's they've discovered, actually Tony Robbins did this. He says the biggest industry going forward is coaching and like mentoring. And listen, I don't have a problem with it. I love like to learn how to do stuff, but the problem is when you get someone that did 3 or 4 deals and now they're a coach and an expert and they're telling them to reverse engineer it from there. That's where I have like issues with it. Like I'd like to see someone like bang out 100 deals minimum before that. And even 100 is not a lot, but the problem is there's like no licensing for this stuff. So like anyone can do it. So it's hard to believe. So everybody focuses on their beautiful pitch. And then what you guys have to do is if you're ever going to buy something, you have to focus on the quality, because if you pay for it and you find out it's junk, it's terrible. There's no difference if like you buy a lemon of a car and you just spent 50 grand on it and you can't drive it, you're going to be upset. The same thing would happen in coaching. So that's just the truth on it. So
yeah, it's just great to see that you guys are actually providing quality and it's free.
Of course. That's what we're here for. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. Have a good one.
All right. Have a great one. All right. Ryan.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
I am outstanding. It is a great day.
All right.
What's up? How can I help you out?
Hey, I was just asking because I remember I talked to you maybe like 2, 3 weeks ago, and I was telling you how I was having an interview with a realtor and all that stuff. It kind of fell through. She called me like an hour later and canceled, and it was kind of like a blessing because you say it was probably pretty much a waste of time anyways.
Yes.
So 3 days later, I ended up getting a property under contract. I did Zillow for sale by owners in Las Vegas, and I talked to a gentleman, said an appointment. My partner went out there, got it under contract. Now my thing is on this on your contract, the inspection period, we put 30 days. Does that mean we have 30 days from the day we signed for the inspection period for us to, if worst case scenario, we might have to get out of the contract?
Yeah, 30 days.
Okay. And just asking because he was asking, I want to say 295 for the property. We got him down to 255. And I've been going through PropStream, Facebook, looking for cash buyers. And to be honest with you, I'm going off of what you guys were saying by listening to their feedback. And from the feedback I'm getting, I think I have it priced too high. To be honest with you, because I'm getting it. Everyone's saying around like 170 and 200 so far.
So let me ask you, did you make your offer based on what the seller was initially offering the price on?
Well, what I did was I kind of like use your guys' little formula when you're like asking him to mention the price without me mentioning the price. And he was like, well, the lowest I'm able to go down to is 250. So then I was like, okay, well, I don't want to give you, I want to be able to give you a definite price for when we come out there. So is it okay we schedule an interview? I'll have my partner come out and then we'll be able to discuss a little bit more from there once you do a walkthrough. He was like, fine, sure. We came out there. But now I wasn't there, my partner was, and he locked it in at 255.
Well, Ryan, I have a
Yes.
simple formula for Zillow for sale by owners. Do you know what it is?
Would it be the one that your dad said where you just go and look up how much they're charging each month for rent and times it by 100?
He doesn't. No,
That's for stuff that
that's for
doesn't have comps.
Those are cash flow comps. This is Zillow for sale by owners. It's
Okay.
70% of the listing price is your MAO.
Okay.
75% if it's a decent deal, if it's a little bigger. But do you know 70% of 295?
Let me do the math right now. I don't know it offhand. I'm gonna be honest with you.
206,500.
206,000.
500.
That's why you
Is
made him
that-
so happy.
And that is your MAO. Your MAO.
That's
and
the
so
maximum. dude.
Why do you think your cash buyers are at that price? Because that is what the MAO is.
Okay.
All right. I ain't a dummy when it comes to stuff. I know what buyers are willing to take, and especially with Zillow for sale by owners. Why do you think I get 70, 80%, $80,000 reductions? Because I know what the thing's worth. How long is that property listed on FSBO for?
It was on there for like 25 days.
So first of all, that's red flag number one. I only like going after Zillows that've been listed for over 100 days, because someone that's been listed in the Zillow for 25 days haven't felt pain.
Yeah.
Because that 295 guy, go ahead.
He actually out here he actually had it listed, then unlisted it, then relisted it back. Like last year he had it listed for I want to say it was like 305, 310 or something. Then he just marked it down some more. So he's been dealing with it for a while. So I don't know. And like
315.
I want to say, yeah. Then he went down
295. He'll be at 285, 275. He'll keep going down until it actually hits what the market price is.
He's spiraling downwards. Just what I told you
Yeah.
what he's going to do. He's chasing yesterday's prices. And
Okay.
he thinks if I keep waiting, and then every month he comes back, okay, I'll take last quarter's price. No, it adjusted again. This dance is going to go on all the way through summer. Okay. It's only going to get worse. So how do you prevent this? Number one, seek motivation first and disregard what price point sellers are giving to you, especially on FSBO, because they're typically pricing it off yesterday's market. And you have to come up with a number that's going to make sense. Otherwise, you wind up in predicaments what you're at. I give you credit for taking action and writing the offer. We just got to get your numbers right. So when you made the offer, did you figure out what the conservative ARV on it was?
The conservative ARV was 335,000.
Conservative.
I'm not for sure what you mean by that. I just did the numbers.
So what were you saying?
So I was telling him, first of all, he came up with the offer, and we used Intel based on the seller's expectations, which that can set you up. Because remember, everybody wants to think they have a deal. So if he's got it listed at 290, he tells you he'll take 250, 255, you immediately think you have a deal. And then he secretly goes, I'm taking advantage of them. Remember, we want win-win situations. So there's always three sides to the truth. You ever heard that? There's
your side.
Yeah, your side, the other sides, and then there's the truth. And there's no difference in like wholesaling. There's your price, which is probably ridiculously low, seller's price, ridiculously high, and then there's what we call the ARV. And you've got to find like the neutral number on a conservative number of what that property is worth. So what did it tell you inside of when you did your comps? What number did you come up with? Did you take a look at it on like PropStream or Batch?
I used Zillow, and I got the numbers off of there, and I did the ARV that way, and that's where I came up with the 335. Now, mind you, I scrolled through and tried to find ones that were close and that matched the same square foot and number of bedrooms.
Ryan, what was repairs?
30,000.
That property only needs 30,000. It's in tip-top shape.
That's
great. Flooring.
Well, 30,000 is what I'm getting from all the other cash buyers that are telling me. Because when we looked at it, once again, I didn't look at it. My partner did, and he walked around it, and the guy had just painted the inside and outside, which we told him he didn't even need to do all that, but he didn't. And so, and there was something like, yes, 30,000, and yeah, I'm sorry.
Right, for 30,000 for a cash buyer, because they're going to want to rent it out or flip it, they don't care about bringing up to the ARV, like perfect condition.
Okay.
Repairs are going to be a lot more than that, dude, because their ARV is actually lower than yours. Because yeah, it'll take 30,000 to bring it to 300 maybe, but it's going to need 50 or 60 for that 330. Here's the thing. It's a general rule. You're saying that it's worth on market right now, right? The market value is 330 minus the 30,000 repairs equals 300,000. If the property was worth 300,000, the free market would have already decided that that's a good price. I'm going to buy it at that price. The free market has decided it's not worth that. What is something worth? What somebody's willing to pay for it. So if nobody's willing to pay $300,000 for it, it's not worth it.
I mean, I'm assuming I need more cash buyers. I need to because I've been really I spent all last night just getting skip tracing different cash buyers and getting a list going on just to be able to call them today.
Fine. There's two reasons why you can't sell the deal. Number one, you locked it up too high, or you don't have enough cash buyers. I think you locked it up too high, man.
It's a little bit of both.
If you think you're going to find somebody stupid enough to buy that thing at 300, you're going to be wrong, man.
Like, no, I don't want to buy it at 300.
He's going to learn from the action he took, and that's the key. Even if you take the wrong act, like you took the action and just kind of went the wrong direction. So here's my other question: is there any type of motivation other than price for this guy selling the property?
He said he wanted to get it closed before the beginning of next month because he knows that next month the prices are going to drop.
They've already dropped. They're literally dropping every month. So
it's 70% of the Zillow. That's the general rule that I have, and if you follow it, you'll do well. The reason why this guy, you got to give an offer that really makes you uncomfortable. And I don't think you made an offer that made you uncomfortable. And that's why you didn't.
Did you wince when you gave him the offer? You're like,
no, the other guy did it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So,
well, I had, what I did was, I was just impressed that I got him down from the 95 to down to 55. And I was like, oh, wow, I've never done that before. Okay. Ooh. So when that happened, I was really excited, and my partner's really excited. And once again, it's our first time. It's our very first one ever even doing the contract. So it was more off of excitement, to be honest with you, I want to say.
Yeah.
And now the excitement's on, and now I'm more serious on trying to really get this sold because I want to keep my word to this gentleman. Like, yo, I'm going to get your property sold.
Well, yeah, I'll give you two things. Number one, teach your partner the go for no strategy because you're going to need it in all of 2023. You got to if you have the hard conversation up front, your conversation with the cash buyer is really easy. Okay. And I'm not going to go into detail on how to do it here, but when you make your first offer, you want it rejected so you can get a counter, so you can start a healthy negotiations. Number two, you're under contract. How many days have you been under contract under this one for?
We got it signed on the 14th of November.
Okay, so you're 10 days into it roughly?
Yes, sir.
You should have talked to me before you were negotiating. I could have helped you out.
I would get out of that contract. So
Well, I wouldn't get out of it.
I wouldn't get out of it, but you got to have a strategy to get a reduction, correct?
Yeah. So here, Ryan, you got excited over a 13.5% reduction in price. A 13.5% reduction in price. That is not
Worth being excited about.
hashtag winning. Okay. That's 13.5%. So that's the same as getting somebody down from 100K to 87K. Doesn't sound that exciting, right?
No,
Because
it doesn't.
you look at 13.5%. You know why he took that? Okay, well, I got to pay 6% of commissions if I list it.
Yeah.
Got to pay closing costs, the hassle of it. It's like 10% to close a property. So I'm only giving up 3% to go with Ryan. That's fine. You guys are clapping, thinking you're winning. It's 13%.
Yeah, he did the deal without paying a realtor and without having to go through like a mortgage or anything, an inspection. Like,
Yeah, it's actually he's going to make more money selling it to you than if he listed it on the market, if he sold it for his price. So what you should have done was you got to get closer to 25 or 30%, which would have yielded you 209 or 210, because that's when you start making some money. And you don't even know if he was willing to take it or not because the offer is too high. And so you don't even know. You could have made a lot more on this. You don't know. And unfortunately, if he says no to that, you just say, okay, well, do you want me to wait in 4 months when you bring the price down to that and go from there?
Okay.
It wasn't enough of a discount.
or you could just tell him, listen, I have to cancel this contract because I don't think you're going to be able to talk him down in one shot down like 30 to 50K. So when you say I want to cancel the contract, when they start going, what's going on? Why are you going to do that? That's when you can start opening up for like the reduction. Just go, listen, the prices have dropped so dramatically. This number just doesn't work.
Okay.
And you go, listen, if you're open to talking about it, I can get your price, but I understand he ain't going to be happy about it either. So by canceling a contract like this, it's somewhat of a counter-offensive move because when you
like he gave us the keys, everything to that. We had the keys to the house, everything. Like
I do it too. I would do.
It's
the
a
whole
great
thing.
deal for him. I do the same.
So don't wait much longer, and you're just going to have. So by avoiding that painful conversation up front, you've now had painful conversations with the cash buyers, and now you get to have a real painful conversation with him. This is going to be a great learning lesson for you, Ryan, and you got a good attitude about it. But like, you got to do the right thing. It doesn't work out. You rather tell him now than later. And I would go, listen, I just have to cancel the contract. This market has changed so much. That price, we were way off. I mean, I just say we're way off. Don't even like tease that you, because you're gonna like, do you want to take $3,000 to $5,000 off of it? You know, I just say, listen, it's probably better I just get out of it, because now he knows he has to put it back on the market and go through this all over again. And he might be open to go, listen, I just want to get rid of it. Probably won't. So I don't set your expectations wrong.
He has no pain.
He has no pain.
Ryan, you had Taco Bell at 3 a.m. It goes down smooth.
Oh, I love it.
But at the end, it ain't going to be nice. Okay. It's a little more work to go and actually get nice ingredients. And it's a lot more painful to go out here and actually give a lower offer. But the problem is you got to choose what wholesaling is going to get painful. This deal would have been painful. It's either painful in the beginning and easy at the end.
Yeah.
You chose easy in the beginning and now you're painful at the end. So think of how much more painful this transaction is going to be because you have to do this.
And learn from it with your partner going forward. Is you're better off having the hard conversations up front, the going for no strategy, and just work through it to get to where you need to be. Then you deal with the cash buyers. It's kind of enjoyable. And then you're not backing out of contracts and doing that painful. Dude, we've all done it. Like there's a certain percentage of contracts just don't work out because nothing's guaranteed. But knowing this going forward, that difficult conversation up front pays off huge in the end. So many people the last 4 years, they all have easy conversations, and the idea of throwing stuff up on the wall to see if it sticks. Cash buyers are brutal right now. Like, they know exactly where they need to be and they're not going to move off of it. So just talk to your partner and go, okay, we got to change it. You're finding the motivation. You're finding the people that need to sell. You got to get them for the right price. And then honestly, even if, say you made the guy a really low offer, say 200, and he didn't turn it down, it would set you up for the future. Because guess what? Nobody else is coming to bail him out, because two things fix any house that's sitting forever on the market: time and circumstances. And both are going to happen to this property. And guys, this has happened to millions of property all across the country. It's not just your properties, Ryan. It's happened to me. It's happened to Zach. It's happening to everyone. So if you can be patient in wholesaling, you can make a lot of money right now. Prices are really pulling back, guys. On average, and this is, unfortunately, I can't do local markets, about 1.5% to 2% per month. Just do the math on that on a $200,000, even a $300,000 property. That's
Okay.
$6,000 every month, rolling back, rolling back. Why? Because when the house next door sells lower because they lowered the price of competition, it keeps lowering the appraisal prices and keeps lowering the comps. And that way, any type of buyer looks at this, and as the prices keep going down, they don't want to overpay what the other guy did before. That's the whole purpose of comps.
Okay.
You know what to do. You know what to do. You ate the bad food. Now you got to deal with it. What are you going to do next? Eat some better food.
Yeah, a little Pepto-Bismol, a little Tums, get it down,
Get it down.
and just get through it. This is just business. Just so detach yourself a little bit, and just learn from it and move forward.
Okay. Hey, and I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Like, because this is an awesome journey that I'm on. Like, because I did sales like across the country, door to door, all that stuff, and like this is way different. But just the whole environment of being able to do sales and talk to people and build a rapport, this is awesome. It's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Ryan, it's literally like being an Eagles fan. Okay.
Absolutely.
You had to
Absolutely.
deal with 4 years of Carson Wentz to
Trent.
finally get a Super Bowl. Okay. And now to get Jalen Hurts. You had to go with all the Carson Wentz, and now you get to actually have good quarterback, right?
Absolutely.
Same thing with wholesaling. There's a lot of pain in the beginning, but there is pleasure with it if you can just deal with it. So I appreciate it.
Eagles fan. He's an Eagle fan.
You guys got a jacket on.
So I tell you, Eagles
let's
fans,
go.
they're the ones that I would never. If I ever had to go to Philadelphia watch a game, I'd keep my mouth shut. If it was I'd probably wear an Eagles hoodie
They had to deal with so much
because
pain.
like I hear stories about like what
Hey,
Eagles.
they're the only fans to throw D-size batteries at Santa Claus. Like
really?
Yeah. They're not
Yeah.
nice. But yeah,
Eagles fans scare me, man. You guys get a rap for being loyal, but man, they say if you go to as a
it's not
opposing
that bad.
team, man, they're like, you better watch your stuff
Yeah.
because they will rip the jersey right off your back.
I know,
man.
but yeah, I appreciate it. You just gotta go through some pain, but I'm telling you, if you can get it through it, you'll do well. So keep it up, man. You know what to
Yes,
do.
You got it.
Yes, sir. You guys have an awesome one. Thank you.
Thanks.
Awesome.
That's funny.
It's true though, right? So let me show you this,
I'll
guys.
take on
So
an Eagles fan.
So we're talking about the Zillow crash. I'll give everyone updates on this. So this is Salt Lake City, right? So I was talking to somebody from Ogden, north of Ogden, I think Brigham City. So I was kind of looking at this, right? Like slowly we're getting some things going on. So Salt Lake City is probably one of the most overpriced markets. So this is a little bigger than the average, but Zillow prices are finally starting to change, right? Because when I did the Zillow crash in like three months ago, people didn't believe me. They're like, "Oh, you're full of it." So this is what's starting to happen, right? So you see the prices, right?
Like a
so
roller coaster ride.
2015, decent, but all of the economy in Utah is kind of in this region, so it's just rising, right? So like it peaked out in June at 621,000. June of 2021. So it did a crazy rise, right?
Yeah.
621,000. Now, every month it's been going down. So let's go back to the year. It doesn't look as crazy, but 621, 615, 600, 593.
Guys,
Like it's just
if you do that on a per month, it's significant. And it's like that roller coaster where you're at the top and you're going in like free fall. We don't know how long of a ride it's going to be or how sharp it's going to be. It will end. Don't get me wrong, but
like we're just starting it out. I'm just letting everybody know.
Like a lot of people think you're like, oh, we're 2 years into it. No. This didn't even kick until like beginning of summer. So what are we? 6, 7, 8. You're like 4 months into this. Like, guys, you got 18 months of this coming up.
Well, and you can make a ton of money wholesaling in this.
It doesn't matter if you're at the top or the bottom.
But you just got to know, right? So this is why you can make a ton of money wholesaling. But the thing is, if a seller's holding out to get a better price, you already know what's going to happen if they hold out, right? It's always kind of funny, but okay, you're holding out. Well, let's just wait, right? This is what you got to understand about your sellers
Yeah.
right now. The sellers used to, oh, you know what? You're not giving me that price, but just hold out.
They would wait. So there's sellers that actually will wait 3 years to get their price, and by the time they paid all the bills and stuff, they got their price, but they had to wait 3 years. They couldn't
Exactly.
move. They couldn't do it. Now you have the opposite happening. So guys, make sure you leverage market conditions to create what I call a call to action. Go, listen, that offer is there. And then if you've had the upfront agreement, which you have to do with everybody now,
Freewholesaling.com.
is when they can't make a decision or they want to wait, you have to remind them of market conditions. Okay, that's great. I respect that, but understanding this price only lasts for the next 2 or 3 days. After that, I got to go look at other properties. And so we're experiencing about a 2% drop a month. Just if you want to wait 3 months, I'm sure we can come back and talk. I would love to talk to you, but we have to revisit the price because it's most likely going to be less. And are you using fear to a point? It's the truth. Fear, when it's the truth, it's okay to use. When you're doing fear to scare somebody into it, it's just like, the truth is when I come back, it's going to be a different price, like end of story. And then your terms might be much more stretched out. Instead of a 30-day inspection, you might have a 90-day by the time you get to that. Guys, use market conditions to leverage your sellers to make a decision. It's okay. And honestly, remember, part of wholesaling is for you to actually help sellers get out of their own way. So right now, the biggest thing we're overcoming is what we call the downward spiral. People are chasing yesterday's prices, and it's driving us all nuts. Okay. What's happened in the past is gone. Okay. That's like me saying, I could buy a piece of plywood for $22, the whole sheet, and now it's $38. I've just accepted the new price and I've had to move on. And sellers have not quite gotten to that point. It's coming. And when it comes, that's when you have massive price collapse in markets. And the realtors are the ones really taking the brunt of it right now because they're not moving properties. How do I know this? I've never seen so many open houses in my entire life.
So you're looking here. So if you're a seller on a Zillow, what if they're stuck on this price, just wait them out because it's just going to get worse and they're going to be more desperate to sell. So if somebody's telling you that, hey, I don't want to sell right now, just let them get some more time. I promise you it'll get a lot better. A lot of people get freaked out over that. I'm telling you, it's actually not that bad, right? So things are going down. So let me, I have an interesting question here and I would love to answer this. Where is it? I think it's a funny stat I just saw. Let me see here. Where is it? Someone says, I heard JP Morgan and partners are putting $1 billion into built for rent properties. Will this affect real estate? So I want to do a quick question. The value of the United States housing market is $43.4 trillion. What is $1 billion divided by $43.4 trillion? I did the math here. So I did the math of $1 billion divided by 43 trillion, and the number doesn't even come up. What do I mean by that? It does come up, but it is pouring $1 billion into more rentals. Well, this is literally what it does. I multiply this by 100, guys. So it is not even a percent. It's not a tenth of a percent or 100. It's a thousandth. It's in the 1,000th place.
Yeah.
And no, like, so I did that. I made it even better. So like, this is what it actually is. Okay. That's how much of an effect it has on the housing, $1 billion. So when I tell you, I could literally care less of pouring $1 billion into the housing market. That's what I care. So I'm just telling you guys like that 43 trillion is what housing is worth. Now, funny story is, what is housing gonna be worth if they didn't have mortgages? It'd probably be a lot lower, right?
It would be significantly lower.
Way lower. But I just telling you guys, because you can borrow money, that's why tuition's always up, because you can borrow money for it. But that's it. So, Edward.
Yeah, I'm here. What's up, guys?
What's up? How are you?
Pretty good, man. Good. I'm glad to be here. Okay, cool. I had a couple of questions for you guys.
Awesome. How can I help you out?
Well, so I started dialing all of my Driving for Dollars leads, and just started yesterday, actually. And I have 2 really legit people that I'm looking at. So they kind of have their own, like, specific situations. So the first one, It's a really weird market down here. This house is probably ARV is going to be like 100K.
What
This
market?
South Texas.
Where's
So
South Texas?
just like general area, like furthest south you can get.
Okay, so you're on the border.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
So houses down here are really cheap. And so I'm not sure if I even want to go after this specific lead because the house is in such bad shape. They're willing to sell and they're motivated to sell it because they bought it for like 20K a couple of years ago. They were going to bulldoze it over and build a house there. I don't know if it's going to be worth it. What do you think?
What city are you in?
So I'm in Harlingen.
Harlingen.
Texas.
What's the population of Harlingen? Okay, that's not on the border. That's Harlingen. All right, got it. It's close, but you're kind of in metro with Brownsville there, so
yeah,
you got McAllen over there. It's actually decently sized.
Yeah, when you put all the cities together, it makes a pretty decent market.
Yeah, you're gonna have buyers there. So, do you think it's salvageable?
I need to go check it out, but she was basically saying that the house is like a corner of the house is being held up by a pole, is what she said. So I don't know if this thing is. Yeah, I don't know. It says it's really bad shape.
I mean, honestly, man, how far is the property from you?
Not far. I mean, it's driving distance. I can check it out. I told her
I would check it out.
Yeah, check it out.
Because if you can salvage it, bring it to a cash buyer, I think you can make it work. If you can't salvage it, it's going to get a little harder because land's pretty easy over there, you know?
Try to get it as cheap as possible, though. Like, don't be stuck even on what they paid for it, because obviously if it's that run down to nothing, like if they walk away, they're going to get nothing. So I start from a very simplistic approach, like find the lowest price you can walk away from it. And by the way, I've bought houses for like $100 before. I'm not kidding you. Very similar property, because nobody wants to deal with it. They're like, it's such a nightmare. You can just have it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's going to be the end result, but you have to start from that thought process. Don't start putting tens of thousands of dollars in your head on it, because this thing needs math. Really, you're just looking at the land value at this point and see if somebody wants to take it on.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. So don't get any preconceived prices. Get them out of your head, because you're really going to have to incentivize a cash buyer to take this on in today's current market.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll check it out then, and kind of go from there on that one. The second property that I have, this is actually really good numbers, because so far I had like maybe 200 driving for dollars leads, and I called like maybe 30 people, and out of those, it's like 2 for 30 at this point. So these are pretty decent, leads. But this second one that I got here, older gentleman, motivated to sell. He's owned the property for like 35 years, and it's a multi-unit, and it's been sitting there vacant for about 15 years. And so this is the cool thing about driving for dollars, right? Because on PropStream, it showed up as occupied. So this is like a lead that only I have right now, which is pretty cool. But the problem with this, though, and I don't know if this is a problem or not, but he says he owes like $68,000 to the IRS. And he says that this is a problem and that he needs to figure that out first. And I don't know is that a problem for selling this property? I mean,
actually, it depends, because is there a lien on it? Do you know that?
Well, mentioning the PropStream earlier, it says it's occupied. Obviously, it's not. So I don't know if the PropStream is up to date on this, but it doesn't say that there's any liens on it according to PropStream.
Okay, he might have a personal lien. So
the best way to deal with it is just run it by your local title company, and they'll tell you, like, we're not here to like figure everything out. We just find motivated sellers, and sometimes you can work with them and sometimes you can't. But IRS liens are a pain in the butt.
It might not even be a lien, but the problem is if he sells it, the IRS might want to get it cut, and he might be trying to negotiate with them.
Well, they're going to do a search on him, and it's going to come up most likely. Yeah. But once again, check with your title company, because listen, if it's not a problem for the title company, I don't care. But if it's a problem and they can't clear the title, then you have to deal with it. The problem with any type of federal government lien is they take time, because you can actually occasionally get them to release the lien on the property. It doesn't mean it releases it from him, but trying to get the government to do anything is like a 90-day minimum. And that's if you put all your effort into it. So,
Honestly, I'd tell them, let's talk to the title company and see, because the IRS does a lot of different things. And we love the IRS. They're the best people in the world. We love you, IRS, if you're watching, heart. But you know what? Sometimes they can get very aggressive with property. Sometimes they're not, right? So it's really.
And it comes down to your title company, what they require for the search. Sometimes it gets called. Sometimes they're not specific to a property. Once again, it depends if, you know, how the property's titled. There's a lot of moving factors. And every now and then I've had one come up. I'm like, he told me he had like a federal lien on it. Title company goes, I don't see anything. You're clear to like sell it. We just shut our mouth and move on. And that's, so just run it by him, see what comes up. It is what it is. And hopefully there's enough value, even if he had to pay that lien and do the right thing. Not that paying the federal government the right amount is always negotiable. So you just find the deals and let the title company sort out the mess. That's how I do it.
So in this scenario, should I ask the title company about this property, or should I ask him to go ask the title company about his property?
Just have the title company do. You can have them do what they call a pencil search. They do a quick search.
Well, ask him questions first, because he might be withholding. Are you negotiating with the IRS? Anything like that? How much? Go from there, and then go with the title company. Ask him questions first, because he might tell you, "Oh yeah, we're negotiating right now," and you don't even need to talk to a title company. So,
yeah, okay.
He knows. The question is, he's going to tell you. So a lot of time when people don't want to know, they get amnesia, like, oh, I forgot or something, like, hey, 60,000. You don't forget about it. So try to get it from them. And sometimes the properties, there's not even enough value in the property to like make up that lien if he had to. And that's where you can go, okay, is this worth working forward? Sometimes you're dealing with a $200,000 or $300,000 property people own outright. You know, you just have to settle up the lien. If it's negotiable or something, you know, you can talk about it, but federal liens are a nightmare. Like, you have to get somebody in the government to sign off on it, and it's hard. So it's challenging at the state level, at the government level. It's a 3 to 6 month process minimum.
Wow. Okay.
So see if he'll give you the information. Your next step is go to the title company and then assess if it's worth moving forward with from there.
Gotcha. Okay. So. Awesome. I appreciate you guys' help. Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay, man. Good luck.
Yep.
Boom. All right. Let's get some questions going here. Kalen's got a good one here. I like this one. He says, I message sellers and say, have you given up on selling the property? They almost always message back. That's pretty creative. I like that.
That is. You get a lot of backlash.
You can get a lot of backlash for it.
It's like, listen, whatever works. The thing is, you just never want people calling you back just to chew you out. So like the people that used like the postcard, someone thought it was so creative, like final notice, and they put it in like pink and red. Well, they got a lot of callbacks, but the problem is they also got investigated by the U.S. Postmaster, because you can't, there's limitations on what you can do on like marketing people. I don't think Kalen's is out of line there. But just make sure you listen to the feedback. If you get a lot of negativity from it, you might want to adjust it slightly. You never want to trick into anybody selling, but the word give up, you got to be careful, because people get really hurt with it.
Oh, yeah.
Are you tired of trying to sell your property, offering your property for sale?
Yeah.
You know, you want to get it sold. I don't know. It's just something. But I love the creativity, because if you do what everybody else does, you're just the same, and it becomes problematic because, you know, people get numb to it. So whatever, remember, the whole goal of any type of marketing is to engage your prospects without tricking them. Tricking them creates a lot of drama in your business.
I agree.
Final notice, or I need to get in touch with you because I have an urgent message for you, and it's an offer. You can get in trouble by the the Federal Trade Commission or the U.S. Postmaster, depending on which one you violate.
Yeah. Swordfish says, hey, Zach and Rick, I have a seller trying to include 2 extra lots with his house and 3 lots already. I looked for the comps. 5 for the lots is 0.5 acre plus house. Those are tiny lots.
Wow. It's
5 lots is half an acre. I mean, honestly, I personally look at half an acre as 1 lot. Like, I mean,
Usually a 0.23 is the
Yeah, that's what I.
size in the
Yeah,
United States. So that would be
that's too. That I mean, honestly, like
because now you're getting down to a tenth of
let's talk about half an acre lots versus quarter acre lots. You're not. A lot of people think someone's going to pay an extra $100,000 to get that extra quarter acre. It's not going to change a lot, especially for an uglier looking house. I honestly, if it needs major renovations, I would not even include it into your comps. I would just treat it as a regular property. Anything on top of that's gravy. Just
because they usually try to include things to get the price up.
Yeah.
But
no. I've had people. Oh, I'm going to give you an extra lot included. That should give me an extra $70,000. I'm like, no. See, someone try to get me to bump it up. No. Okay.
no, just price out what the lots are, what their value is, so you don't like get misled on the price. But you know, those are small lots. But I mean, I guess there's I've seen eighth of an acre. That's the smallest I've seen. But those are like waterfront communities type of deal, 0 lot lines.
I've had motivated sellers try to get me to go up in price because they're giving me a bonus lot, but the bonus lot's all in the one deed. And I'm like, no. All right.
You know what my favorite is when they like, I have an 8-bedroom, 1-bath house. I go, 8 bedrooms. That's like a record. And it's 1,100 square feet. I go, okay, 1,100 square feet, 8 bedrooms and 1 bath. All I think in my head is like, you ever see like a rat maze, like a mice race?
Oh yeah.
Because that's, you have to put up 1 million walls to make that work. And when your box is only so big, it becomes like a mice maze. Like they put the cheese, like try to figure out how to get out of this house. So that's what I feel when I go in those houses. Listen, I believe all houses be proportionate. Like in Florida, if you have a 1,200 square foot house and you're calling it like a 6-bedroom, it ain't a 6-bedroom. Like
1,200 square foot house.
So a 3.2, the minimum is like 11. A 1,000 square foot 3.2 seems like a maze to me when I walk into it. There's not one open space. 1,500 is like healthy. 2,000 is like really wide open. You get that feeling. So the cool thing is doing this 20 plus years, I can look at the square footage of the house and just tell you if it's even going to be attractive even before I buy it.
Yeah, hands down. KTN says, how would you respond to a wholesaler when the seller says, I want to fix it up a little before I sell it? Do it. You pour $20,000 in the kitchen and the flooring, replace the roof, do this work, paint it on the inside out. You go do it. I'm like, go ahead. Here's the thing. They're doing it to threaten you. Oh, I'll just fix it up.
They would have done it already. It's usually a bluff. And honestly, if they do it, I'm still going to pay them the same price.
Yeah. Like
I love free labor.
Yeah. That ain't going to happen. Okay. Kalen says, thanks for the knowledge, dude. First time I've heard about the 70% FSBO. I've been overthinking it. Why do you think I did the 70% FSBO? Because you guys are overthinking things. Stop overthinking things. I'm telling you, once you stop overthinking, a lot of stuff starts clearing up, right? You stop freaking out over things. This business gets a lot easier and simpler, and you're just more successful.
And that's simplification for FSBO, because it's harder to build a relationship with people on the phone when you first talk to them. So don't confuse. Now you're just doing the 70% rule like everyone else. No. We're talking about specifically on FSBOs. I want all of you to go for no, qualify them on the phone, get in person, and then you're going to offer them. You're going to start at 50%. Why? Because you're looking to get the first offer rejected so you can get a healthy negotiations to get that tough talk done up front, so you don't have to do what like Ryan does and have an easy conversation and then just hard for the next 2 or 3 weeks. Guys, I'm telling you, just get it done up front, because worst case there, they tell you no and they want to negotiate. Well, they're kind of doing you a favor, because you don't want to be, if you have to compete on like constantly bidding on properties, you're going to get killed in 2023, in my opinion. You have to get the rock bottom price, because cash buyers are demanding very large discounts and incentives because they have a lot of people to pick from. So who are they going to go to first? The person who has the best price property that knows what they're doing. And if you're careful, that'll be you. So you have to use the go for no strategy. Why? You can do it significantly cheaper because you've built rapport with them on the phone and you're meeting them hopefully in person, or you're doing multiple follow-ups and virtual. And you can get away with it because you won't get kicked out. You do 50% on a FSBO, you're probably going to get hung up instantly, right?
I agree. So what you need to do, guys, especially right now, just start focusing on just taking action. If you focus on taking action, your results will follow. So, one quick announcement: tomorrow, I mean, you're going to be crazy busy tomorrow because
I'll be eating.
you're frying turkeys, right?
Yeah.
I got to show you some videos. I saw a bunch of videos
Burn
of
the house down.
people burning their house down
Well, it's
frying
the number
turkeys.
one, they say 400 people a year on average burn their house down doing it.
Yeah, that's why we're doing it in the yard, really far out. But
Yeah.
so you are going to be busy because we have, I think, the largest Thanksgiving we've ever had for our family coming. So I'm going to do Thanksgiving live stream tomorrow from 12 to 2, 12 p.m. Eastern to 2 p.m. Okay. And what that means, so that's going to be, what is that? 11. So 8 to 11. No, 9 to 11 Pacific. So 12 to 2 Eastern tomorrow at my house. So y'all get to come to my house and we're going to live stream from my home studio. For the Flip with Work people, I only do it on the Zach Ginn channel, but I'm going to do a Turkey Day special.
Yeah.
So you guys can go over to my place.
Who else goes live on Thanksgiving?
Y'all come over to my house for Thanksgiving. 12 to 2.
Pumpkin pie for all.
Yeah, 12 to 2. And we'll talk. I got some cool stuff I want to talk about, and that'll be pretty cool. And yeah, so that's going to be pretty fun. So guys, it would be too loud everywhere else. So we're going to do it at my place tomorrow. So I'll see you guys at 12 to 2. We'll talk about it. But let's answer a couple more questions real quick before we hop off. But I do want to give everybody our appreciation and support. I do want to have an awesome announcement. We have crossed 60,000 subscribers on YouTube. So
60K, man. Boy, that was fast, wasn't it?
That was pretty slow. Just
No,
kidding.
it's
It was really fast. And I just want to give everyone a shout out. You know, I remember spending a year getting to like 500 subscribers, right? And then
That's painful.
to 1,000, to 2,000, then to where we're at now. And I appreciate everybody, you know, subscribing to all the other channels. You're about to hit 5,000 on your channel.
Yep.
And I'm about to hit 25,000, but I've had mine a little longer. So yours just grow like crazy too. And thank you for everybody. I think
so make sure you subscribe to each of our channels, Zach Ginn and Ritkin. And obviously, if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe to it so you know when you get notifications when we go live, because we do this a lot. So
next month, we should hopefully, that's pushing it. Hopefully by next month, by January 1st, 2020, we'll have 100,000 combined subscribers for all of the YouTube channels. So the Wholesaling House is for real. Ritkin, Zach, and Flip with Rick. So that's going to be really cool too. We'll have something special for that. But really appreciate everybody on there. We're at 78,000 on our Facebook group. Wholesaling House is for real. So I appreciate that. Hopefully get over 100,000 that soon. And make sure you guys hop on there. And remember, guys, join the community that we got going. Wholesaling House is for real is our Facebook group. It's important because this is actually that's your key to actually hop on and talk to us for free. And most importantly, you go to freewholesaling.com, which is our free real estate wholesaling course, where we give you updated information about wholesaling, how to become as successful as possible as a wholesaler. And that's our like $10,000 course, right? Like that's what we do for free and help the people out. So I really appreciate everybody. Appreciate all the love and support. And yeah, guys, I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. So that's going to be pretty fun too. So it's insane, right? So yeah, we're going to watch some football tomorrow. It'll be pretty fun. Cowboys fans are going to get disappointed again. So we'll see.
I don't know, man. They're looking pretty good this year.
Oh my gosh.
We need Dolphins football is what we need.
Yeah,
I'll hold on.
They're playing it there. So one last one because you got UFC showing. Who's your favorite UFC fighter?
That's a good. There's so many, man. There's who's my favorite? Right now. You're really putting me on the spot here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they all have those crazy, just the crazy nicknames. Who's the guys I always talk to you about? A lot of mine are like the old school retired guys.
Currently, right now.
I like to watch the heavyweight champ. He's just amazing.
Ngannou?
Yeah. I mean, he's fun to watch. You know what? I just enjoy the sport. I love Patty the Batty. He's probably one of my favorites.
Oh my gosh.
Like, he is just you know what? If you ever see the guy outside of UFC, he's just a really down to earth kid. Like he shows up to like high school wrestling and helps people. He helps out the military a lot, especially like obviously he's British, right? And he spends time. That guy spends his own time helping train the military how to do jiu-jitsu, like survival skills.
Yeah.
And for that, like, I got a special place in my heart. And then who's the guy who just retired? That crazy fighter. It's with a G. What's his name? Little short guy. He had the long hair, always bloodied up like crazy.
Yeah.
I forget his name. He's just the guy would go in and fight anybody.
Guido.
Clay Guido or whatever it is. Just a warrior, man. I just love the warrior mentality, man. Like, I love all UFC. There's so many UFC fighters, and the way they do the schedules, it's just a pain in the butt because you see your favorite and you forget about him. But Patty the Batty, dude, like, I will drop anything to watch him fight. So I think that's the winner.
My favorite is all times John Jones, even though he's got some bad personal stuff. I still think John Jones is the best fighter of all time for UFC. He's always was my favorite. He's trying to be a heavyweight, so that'd be kind of cool. But guys, that's what I got to say there. So I appreciate it. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Make sure you do it. And World Cup, come on. Who do we want to win the World Cup? USA, baby. Like, come on. There's no seconds. There's no it's the U.S. stinking A. We're going to beat England on Friday because we already beat England in the Revolutionary War. So it's like we're already 1-0 against them. So I'm telling you, USA doesn't lose. We're 2-0 in our world wars, and we're going to win. So appreciate it. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe. See you guys tomorrow.